Welcome back, baseball fans. This is the final installment of the 1969 box. We have looked at all the teams except tonight. We'll get to the National League West. We've already taken a peek at some of the unprotected players, though that wasn't very beautiful. Yeah, it was kind of a scary look at the unprotected players. But anyway, again, we know that we're not going to get a lot of talent from this season because so much talent has already been scooped up from this season. Only 64 cards are going to be coming out of this box out of 380 cards. So there is hope that teams will make the right choices. And even if they make the wrong choices and they get a lousy player, that lousy player will only be in the league for 1 year. So we move to the National League West with the Houston Astros. They're going to bring back Jose Cruz to play outfield for him. That's wonderful. He'll play his whole entire career with the Houston Astros. He'll end up having he'll be represented in the entire span of years from the 1969 and 1984 Carryover League. I'll actually his career wasn't even that long, but in a Carryover League he could end up playing 16 years, which is ridiculous. Anyway, Jose Cruz, lifetime Astro, but they lose Pete O'Brien, Larry Parrish, who led the National League in RBIs, Darrell Porter, who really wasn't that great anymore, Rafael Ramirez, he wasn't that great, Dennis Rasmussen wasn't that great, Joe Sambito was past his prime, and Julio Solano was an average closer. So really, that's not a lot of talent to lose for the Astros, which is good. That means that a huge chunk of the talent that got them near the playoffs last year is still on the Astros. And let's take a peek of that first by flipping these cards over. And we're looking at, Dennis Menke's 70, Joe Morgan's 70 card. Menke and Morgan are not going to be traded to the Reds yet. The Astros are saying, screw you, Cincinnati. We're holding on to our guy. You'll get him. Don't worry, you'll get Joe Morgan, by the time his 72 card is available in the Reds. But not quite yet. And, of course, Doug Rader. So, let's see what the Astros got out of their farm system. All right, Tom Griffin is a starting pitcher here. That's a pretty good card. Not many hits. 3.54 ERA. A lot of walks. Not that many hits, though. A lot of strikeouts. Interesting card. I like the lack of extra base hits against lefties here. He gets up against righties, but I love the triple one and the double 1-3. Kind of a cool card for a mediocre dude. As a starter 6, he could take Dennis Rasmussen's spot in the rotation, which means that the Astros would prefer to have 2 left-handed relievers, which is what I would prefer anyway. I prefer 1 lefty starter and 2 lefty relievers for matchup purposes. Johnny Edwards. He will be the Houston catcher to replace Darrell Porter. The question is, what is John Edwards' best year? Is it 1969 where he hit 232, or is he a little bit better in 70, 71, or 72? So that's more. We're going to have to research that. Norm Miller, a left-handed outfielder. He's okay. He's okay. If he did anything really good, that would be good, but he does nothing really that good. Doesn't have power. Doesn't field well. C-stealer. No, I don't think he'll make it. Jim Ray, not as good. Very similar to Tom Griffin, but not quite as good. And there you are. So, Houston didn't lose a lot. They're not going to gain a lot. They're going to kind of tread water. It's going to be tough to keep up with the Dodgers and Giants. And that's where we are next, folks. The Dodgers, the wheelers and dealers of this postseason. The Dodgers are going to move Dusty Baker to Atlanta, and we'll see what they get from that. Bill Buckner's going to be playing left field for him. Bill Russell's going to play shortstop. They're going to trade Bert Hooton in the proxy that will ultimately have them landing. Well, they're going to get rid of Bert Hooton and Bill Singer and end up with Andy Messersmith and Don Sutton. Plus, they're also going to lose Oral Hershiser and Shane Rawley. So the only guy coming back in the Dodger rotation from last year will be the left-hander Claude Osteen. So let's see, going back to 69, what they can get. One guy that's not here that they can get would be Don Sutton, because Don Sutton's best year between 69 and 72 is 1972. However, in 72, that's Bill Buckner's best year with the Dodgers and Bill Russell's best year at the time. So if that's the case, you can't bring up three guys in the same season at the same time. So it could very well be that they trade for the 69 Don Sutton initially and eventually upgrade Sutton once he's with the Dodgers for a year. So let's, Grabarkowitz. Look at that terrible rookie card, 092. And he had a magnificent year. Wes Parker, Sizemore, Mickelson. This Sizemore was Rookie of the Year, but he's actually better in 70. Mickelson, Davis, Muller, and Russell. Remember, Russell was an outfielder as he starts out. You don't want this Bill Russell. You want the 72 one. So the farm system has Tom Haller, a lefty catcher to replace Scioscia, and you could put Willie Crawford to replace Kirk Gibson in your outfield. You lose Scioscia and Gibson. So you do have replacements, but you also have the possibility of Don Sutton here. In any event, the Dodgers are extremely flexible, more flexible than any of the other teams in the league. Okay, next team, for entertainment purposes, are the Padres. We love the Padres here. They will lose... A really bad San Diego Padre team will lose 8 players who played on the 1984 World Series Padre team. Tony Gwynn is gone. Terry Kennedy, gone. Kevin McReynolds. Tom Nieto, who didn't play for him. Gary Templeton, Ron Washington, Dave Dravecky, and Craig Deflefferts. Gone. Oh my goodness. So their core is Ollie Brown, Guest, and Spezio, and Bob Miller. And actually all 4 of these guys are actually pretty good for the Pods. So, what does their system look like? That's their system. Ivan Morel. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. And Al Santorini. Well, this'll work. Oh yeah, that'll work. So Al Santorini, there you go. You're halfway there. You only need one guy. Well, you need 2, but you got half of them. So Al Santorini stands to move into the rotation for the Pads with Dick Kelly, Clay Kirby, Jim Bunning, and then they would just need to find not 1, but 2 left-handed relievers. Good luck with that, Padres. Lastly, and the final team to do an analysis of, the San Francisco Giants, runners-up to the Big Red Machine in the National League Championship Series, but who do they lose? Oh my goodness. Wait till you hear this, folks. They lose Jack Clark, who at 320, Tim Flannery, wasn't much, Terry Pendleton, who at 324. And then, from the rotation bullpen, they lose Jeff Zahn, Storm Davis, Greg Minton, Al Holland, and Larry Anderson. They lose quantity in the pitching staff. They're left with quality. Juan Marichal, Gaylord Perry, and Steve Hamilton. Now, one of the transactions they could do is Sam McDowell gets traded from Cleveland to the Giants for Gaylord Perry. They may want to exercise that trade now so that they can have 2 lefties already on the team, Hamilton and McDowell, so they only have to find 1 more left-hander in the draft. As you know, left-handed starting pitching is hard to come by. And they are trying to win this division and get back to the NLCS. So, let's see. Let's take a look at the a better Steve Hamilton is who they have in the bullpen. Ken Anderson, Jim Hart, Dick Dietz, Willie Mays, along with Willie McCovey, blah, blah, blah. So, Mike McCormick can replace Jeff Zahn, and there you go. You can go with Jeff Zahn, Sam McDowell, and Steve Hamilton, and you are good to go with left-handed pitching. McCormick had a 3.34 ERA and 197 innings. Tito Fuentes, he plays third base this year. They lose really, they lose a shortstop. Well, they lose Terry Pendleton, who's a switch hitting third baseman who was a 3.32. So Fuentes is a pretty good replacement for Pendleton. And then you have Frank Lindsay, who is, he's an okay, he won 14 games. He's okay here, though I think you can find better relievers than that. Relief 4 is really great, but you can find better than that, I believe. And McCormick and Fuentes are better. So at least the Giants are not going to be, they're not going to lose their spot to the Dodgers. It's a two-horse race out west between the Dodgers and Giants. Padres are going down. And the Astros might be treading water here, too. I don't know. I'm not really impressed with who the Astros are planning on adding from this year. Maybe they can find better guys in 70, 71, and 72. All right, that includes the 1969, a look inside the box. 64 guys will be in the Carryover League next year. And then after that, this box will be put away. And the Carryover League will continue on and on and on and on. Forever and ever and all that sort of stuff. All right, thanks for checking out the videos. We'll see you again next time.